You know, all of us have a number of these little treasure films that we absolutely love that not necessarily everybody knows about. One of those films for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this one,
Yeah.
was Stephen Chow's Shaolin Soccer. Now, he had a slightly more popular movie that more people know called Kung Fu Hustle, and that was great. I don't even think it's close though. I think Shaolin Soccer was his absolute best film. And you know what? For coming out in 2001, 25 years ago, the same year Shrek came out, and the budget of the film, the visual effects in that movie were shockingly good. Like with how they handled the ball. And basically it's this soccer team that decides to incorporate Shaolin Kung Fu into their soccer. And hilarity, it's hilarious, it's exciting. The martial arts action is bonkers, and off the top, everything you'd expect from it being from the same guy who did Kung Fu Hustle. Well, anyway, we heard a while ago that Stephen Chow was developing another Shaolin Soccer. And now, coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter, we're going to get to see it all over the world because the Hollywood Reporter is now saying that Stephen Chow's Shaolin Soccer spinoff, Kung Fu Soccer, lands worldwide distribution rights deal. It's going to be coming everywhere. Encore Films has acquired the worldwide distribution rights outside of mainland China to Kung Fu Soccer, Stephen Chow's first film as a director in 7 years, and the long-awaited spinoff to his beloved martial arts meets football, also known as soccer, hit Shaolin Soccer from 2001. It basically goes on to this. Chow wrote and directed Kung Fu Soccer, covered for the past 2 years under its announced title Shaolin Women's Soccer, but does not appear in it, having stepped back from acting after 2008's CJ7. The film recast Shaolin Soccer's premise around an all-female squad, the underdog Imai team, who integrate martial arts into their game on an improbable run at a championship. So again, very, very similar to the initial concept of Shaolin Soccer. But you know what? That's fine because every Kung Fu movie has basically all followed the same plot anyway. Young, super talented martial artist with a master. Master gets murdered. A young student now is on a revenge path to avenge the death of his master. If I asked you to name that movie, you could probably drop about 75 titles. So there's that. By the way, the best of which is a little movie called Shaolin versus Llama. If you have not seen Shaolin versus Llama, look it up. It's one of the greatest and most hilarious old style Kung Fu movies I've ever seen. It's amazing. Anyway, that aside, I have been waiting for Stephen Chow to come back and doing something like this. And the fact that we didn't get a lot more of him, particularly after Kung Fu Hustle, which I don't know if maybe for the North American audience, the novelty wore off or something along those lines. But I think this guy is a genius wit. Like that's what really stood out to me most about Stephen Chow. He has a genius wit about him. His comedy is sometimes like really big and bold over the top, like a Seth Rogen, but sometimes is also a very subtle that you got to pay attention to catch the joke kind of humor. He's really a brilliant humorist, and we think of him more in terms of martial arts, understandably. But I have been waiting for a follow-up to Shaolin Soccer forever. So I personally can't wait for this. Chris, I don't know if you and I have never talked about this. I don't know if you ever had the privilege of watching the original Shaolin Soccer. If so, what did you think about it? And what do you think them finally doing a follow-up to this?
I am cultured. I have seen it.
I am cultured.
That was one of those VHSs that was just constantly being put in when I was younger. I loved Kung Fu Hustle a lot. And I did check out Shaolin Soccer. Me not being big of a sports guy, though, it wasn't as much of a repeat, but it was a very entertaining, fun sports movie. And you're exactly right. His wit and humor in mixing in the creativeness that he does with the Kung Fu is so great. And it has been missed. Haven't really seen anything like that. My only I guess worries or just a wonder how it'll play out. You know, we just had an awesome martial arts movie, The Furious. I'm not sure if you guys got around to see that, but it's kind of, making a whimper. It just kind of came and went. The article mentions that it really wants to ride the waves of the World Cup going on right now. And so they're trying to find a way to get this quickly out there. And so those little things make me like, okay, is this going to, have the same view from audiences? Are we ready for something like this again? But I'm down to see it. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Rob, Chris brings up a really good point, which is I think everybody here is dying to watch this. But is there going to be commercial appeal? You know, he just mentioned The Furious that was so good. I was late to it, but it's pretty amazing. I mean, I wouldn't put it on the same level. Some people are telling me it was as good as The Raid. I don't think it's as good as The Raid.
No, I don't think it's as good as The Raid.
But I mean, it was really good. Nobody went to go see it. So number one, what do you think about them doing another Shaolin Soccer finally? And do you think there is going to be any kind of a commercial appeal for it?
Well, first of all, I mean, you know, it's funny because both Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle were movies that you had to like find on. I had to find them on DVD. You know, and you know, you're looking. The great thing was you could get them on as Hong Kong releases because they were subtitled in English, which was great. And so, you know, to me, those are like early 2000s movies. That's how I kind of remember it. And I was a big fan. So, you know, there is a penetration of more and more foreign films. Obviously, anime has become huge among Gen Z audiences, and people are starting to delve into Indian films more. And I think Stephen Chow, he makes the most accessible, like, even though his films have a bit of unreality, not as much as say like Triple R did for people who,
oh my God,
you know, I mean, for me as the viceroy of verisimilitude, it's a mindset, but Stephen Chow's movies are also incredible comedies. You know, they're really funny and genuinely funny. But what's funny about them too is that because they come out of a different culture, there's some humor that we haven't ever seen before.
Yeah.
And there's just a different feel to it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And so, you know, I think again, I feel that for all the craziness that's going on in the world, for all the wacky, you know, everyone thinks we're heading down the road to oblivion with AI overlords, you know, Skynet's about to rise up and smite us all. But I do think something else is going on, which is that the culture of the world, and maybe it's because I've been seeing all these foreigners talk about how great America is because these World Cup games, like, we love it here. It's nothing like they tell us back in Europe. That I feel that, you know, there's no better way to share culture than through entertainment, and movies are the best way to do that. And we need, you know what? Stephen Chow, now more than ever.
Yeah, Chow, now more than ever.
Yeah.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there, especially since the film was 25 years old, that maybe haven't seen Shaolin Soccer yet. I bet a bunch of you already have, though. How great is that movie? Is it too late to bring back another one? And even if they do, which they are, do you think it can have commercial appeal? I certainly hope it will. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. You know, one of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works. Because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why weight loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever, and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com.